I have a couple questions because
Yeah.
I've been watching your channel.
Thank
I've been keeping
you.
up with your channel. And you've got you do it's sort of like What's Trending, but more comedy focused, shorter, and a lot more news.
It's shtick, and I call it the Ross News Hour Minute because I don't want to elaborate too much on any one subject because I feel like if you're interested in a topic, you'll deep dive into it on your own. And I'm just gonna I like to say because barely informed is still kind of informed.
Now, are you picking stories to cover based on like I got a crazy zinger for this one? Or are you like I want to talk about this and then I'll think of a joke to go with it?
So I have comedy rules. My rule is if someone, I learned this because I've worked so many different places and I always take something with me, but this one was a Conan writer's rule that if someone had died, you can't make fun of it because it's like there's a grieving family on the other end of that. So my rule is like if there's death involved, they cannot be the butt of the joke, and if it's I will only do it if it's still a famous person, like I did a Wes Craven joke, but it was more about his body of work than it was about him as a person.
Yeah, I actually think after someone dies on social media, people really love funny references to moments that they love. Like it doesn't read as making fun. Like the biggest tweet, the number one tweet I ever tweeted, like the most shared tweet, was right after Leslie Nielsen died. I said, Leslie Nielsen has just passed away in a Florida hospital. It's a big building with lots of doctors and patients, but that's not important right now.
Yeah.
Which is an airplane reference. And that got like massively retweeted. And I hesitated before I tweeted it because I was like, is that insensitive? Because I love Leslie Nielsen. I didn't want to make fun of Leslie Nielsen.
That if you're going to joke about topical things, you got to be gentle with it. And then the Colbert methodology is the butt of the joke should never be the victim of the situation.
Right.
Because then people will laugh, but he says it sounds like they have blood in their mouths, and they call that blood laughter. And like so that has always stuck with me. You need to have a safe space where you can work that stuff out. Like I have a lot of good friends that it's like we know we're all good people. And when like we'll want to try something and be like, hey, does this work? Can I pull this off? And then your honest friends will be like, no, but they won't judge you for what you said. And you know what's interesting is like right now we're seeing a real shift in what audiences will tolerate just based on like even since 2012. The perspective of our society has shifted so entirely where you could make a joke about a transgender person in 2012 and a mainstream audience would laugh.
Right.
Now, I feel like people are more aware of the issues that are going on with those.
And I think that one of the good things about becoming a more, air quotes here, politically correct society is your humor better be spot on, because just making fun, picking on the underdogs isn't going to do it anymore.
Nope.
And
Forcing everyone to be better.
I like this because I go to a lot of open mics and you hear a lot of rape jokes, you hear a lot of racist jokes, and they just like you cringe hearing them. And doing comedy, especially about racy subjects, is like doing magic because you either have to execute it perfectly. Because if the audience even sees like a little bit of like a card, it's like, oh, that's not magic, that's a guy lying to me. And then it's all gone. And then, so like if your joke is edgy or offensive, it better be perfect.
Spot on.
Yeah, it has to be perfect.
Yeah. That was a clip from our podcast. If you want to see the whole thing, go and visit us online at soundcloud.com/what's trending. Also, you can find us on iTunes at What's Trending Podcast. Thanks for coming in today, Ross.
Of course, it was mostly painless.